Hello guys and welcome back to Mod Monday, and in today's spotlight we're checking out Mirrored Buildings by Andrea Aquila, who brought to us the Decorations mod, which we covered previously. So if you do find this spotlight helpful, then please drop a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. I will attach the Decorations mod spotlight in the top right hand corner now, so you can check it out should you wish. So, one of my pet peeves in Satisfactory is when all the inputs or outputs are weighted on one side of the building. Take, for example, the foundry. If I wanted to merge two lines in the center together at either side, there will be a lip from one foundry, which just looks off to me. I like it all in one neat group. Now, this is even worse when it comes to the coal power plants, as it's not just one input that's off, but the fluid input as well, meaning that if you want to do some tight power plant builds, then you're going to have to really juggle with the pipes and conveyors. And you'll also find this later on when you research the refineries and the nuclear generator. So, what's the solution? Well, thankfully, Andrea Aquila has developed this mod which allows buildable mirrored machines unlocked in the 3rd, 5th and 7th tier. These unlocks will allow you to build the said structure with the inputs reversed, which is great as it tickles that itch to have everything perfectly in line. Starting with the coal generator, you can see that he's swapped the water and conveyor inputs, allowing for much neater lines. But what I will point out is it's only the inputs that have been mirrored rather than the whole building. This is a little disappointing for me, as with the generators I love having the chimneys in line, and the same for when it comes to the power joints. But that's just a small thing, and this mod still does fix the major issues of the inputs, in my eyes, being on opposing sides of the build. Next we have the foundries, which again have their inputs swapped over, but taking a closer look, it would seem that an output has been added rather than also removing the previous output, which I would have liked to have seen, but I should imagine removing something from a game asset is much more difficult than adding something to it. And with that in mind, we should actually go back and check the generators, because I think, as you can see, the new outputs have been stuck on top of the old ones, leaving them looking slightly different, slightly more bulkier. But again, this is nothing major, as I clearly overlooked it at first glance. If we place down the refineries and the nuclear power plant, we can see immediately with the refinery that rather than changing the model's physical inputs and outputs, that he's just swapped the actual input and outputs around. I understand that for ease why he's done this, but at the same time, having the directional inputs and outputs actually on the build make it much easier for the player to understand how his factory operates. And this, though I know it works, is confusing, and it would seem that this is the same for the nuclear power plant as well. Now, I am assuming that this is because the mod is still being developed and this was pushed through as a fix until all the inputs and outputs have changed, like on the coal power plant. So, though this mod is useful, and I can see myself using this mod honestly in the future, but for the time being, I'm going to have to wait a little longer for the input outputs to be changed visually before considering to use this as a permanent feature in my factories. That being said, I am very grateful that Andrea has developed this, as it shows people are paying attention to the key issues a lot of us are having with the game, and I am certainly excited to see how these mods develop later on. Anyway guys, if you did find this look at the mirrored building mods helpful, then be sure to hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. Anyway guys, until next time, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely afternoon, and as always, ciao for now.